Hello! Welcome to the catch-up video for the Star Wars card making class I hosted on Zoom. Welcome. Alright, let's get started here. Let's go through what we need. So what we need for sure is adhesives of your choice. I have here some tape runners. I've got some glue dots, some dimensionals, just to kind of show. Let me pull them out. What's also useful is there's also liquid glue. Just really whichever adhesives you've got, we should be able to make do. For the class materials itself, we have a Yoda and an R2. We've got some like a denim blue ribbon. We have here a white and greenish thread. This actually is part of the new ink colors. I think the color is called Parakeet Party, I believe. We have two phrases here. We've got do or do not, there is no try, a long time ago. We've got a strip of green paper. We've got these two cool Star Wars pieces here. Make sure when you're gluing them down, they're right side up. They're same image, just horizontal versus vertical. We have two pieces of just basic white cardstock of normalness for the inside of the cards. And then there's two black card bases. So that's the materials that we need so far. Also as well, for coloring, I've already colored these ahead of time just to kind of save up some time here. We've got some colors. So suggested colors. And also what's a good idea is if you're not sure what areas or what to match up, I just did this based on my guessing. What you can do is you can Google images of Yoda and R2-D2 to get an idea of what colors you want to use. But I've used these colors for this. We've got here for R2, a blue and a gray. For the Yoda skin, I used this kind of green. I call it grass green for a term. That's it as a way of describing it. It's like a different kind of green. Then I have kind of like a tan color for the robes. This turned out to be more like a brick red kind of color I ended up selecting, but like a medium brown and then a dark brown. For the medium brown for the inside the robes and the dark brown for his little cane. So that's suggested colors for the project. So once you have it colored up, we can get assembling. Feel free to pause the video and Google for references if you need to check out how these two guys look like. So let's start with the Yoda. I just put my guide beside me. So first things first, for Yoda, he gets this one. Then we've got, so let's do the inside first. Open it up and glue this in. I'm just going to use my Stamp and Seal Plus for the moment. Any sort of adhesives you want to use, go for it. Okay, that's on. And then same thing, gluing the adhesive, normal adhesive for the Star Wars pattern paper here. And then next is take the green strip, and that's going to go right along there with some adhesives. Alright, and then Yoda will go around there. And the phrase do or do not, there is no try will go on top. Now my suggestion for these is to use some dimensionals, which are a 3D kind of foamy type adhesives here. That's my suggestion. So for Yoda, you can use 2 or 3, depending on your preference. I'm just going to use 2 for the moment. Just pull off the white caps on these. And just glue them on. That way he stands out a little bit. And for a phrase, same thing. I can use, again, 2 or 3. I'm just going to use 2 for today. And then pull off the white caps. And then lastly, for the Yoda card, we're going to take that light green thread and we're going to make a tie at the top. So just kind of work it in. That way it kind of hangs there. And then right in the center-ish, just tie a bow. Now, me, myself, I'm not very good with bows, so you can always do something else. If you want to put the ribbon anywhere else you like, you can put a bow somewhere else near Yoda. I leave entirely up to you, but this was the vision that I had for this. If I can tie a bow today. It's good practice for me to try to get used to this. Yeah, so there is the Yoda card, and then these are others of the same that I've done, the same over and over. But yeah, there's Yoda, so there we go. So next is R2, similar concept here. So first we're gonna glue the panel on the inside. It appears I don't know where my adhesives are. But yeah, Stamp and Seal has a Stamp and Seal Plus as well as the regular one. I just personally prefer the Plus version. And there's actually refills for these that's possible to get. Alright, so that part is done. Then this will go on the outside with regular adhesive. And making sure it's right side up. Yeah, kind of like that. And then R2 is going to go close to the left, pretty close to the bottom. And with that, you could use the dimensionals if you want. Suggested number I use would be about 5, 1 at the top. 2 at kind of sort of middle of the shoulders. And then 1 per foot here. And pull off the white caps. Alright, so for R2, I'm just going to put them right there. It's a good spot for them. Okay, so next take your thread, not thread, ribbon, the blue ribbon, and what we're going to do is position it pretty near R2, and then right where it starts at the bottom, put some adhesive behind it so it will stick there. For this, I'm going to use glue dots. Just, it's something to keep it in place. So I'm just going to put 2 glue dots. Ideally, it's a way to make it stick and not move around. Alright, so I've got 2 glue dots there. And then I'm just going to lay it on. And then the same thing at the top here to put some adhesives. So it helps to know where to go. Alright, so that's started. And then flip to the inside. I'm going to do the same thing, top and bottom. Now my suggestion for when you get to the bottom is, the idea is to be a little bit off skew from the original, and I'll show you why now, because that way if you're off skew a tiny bit, when you come back to here, you want to be off a little, so that way we can see both ribbon pieces. That's the suggestion. So just putting some more glue dots. And now take off the white caps. And from here, fold it, line up to where those glue dots are, and that should keep it in place pretty good. And of course mine shifted a tiny bit to where I wanted to go. But it'll still work. Just gonna move it a tiny bit. Make sure I'm still within. And then from here, same thing. So adhesives down here, adhesives up there. Just make sure it stays in place. I've got some glue on the table, on the paper here, so I keep sticking to it. Alright, so let's do that. Put 2 glue dots there. Use whichever adhesives you want to use. I just find these are useful for this application. Just try to keep it in place, that way it doesn't want to move on me. Helps when you're using glue dots to have a needle or something, or like a multi-tool like this. This is a normal one. This isn't my usual for Stampin' Up, because I have not invested in it yet. And sorry, my screen's starting to show some stuff. Alright, and fold that up. And then, for the last little bit, you just want to put some adhesives where it lands. And then that part is done. There's my glue dots. But by doing that, just put them right on the ribbon. Then just fold it, and there. The ribbon is completed. If you don't like the length, you can always kind of shorten it up, but I just liked it that way. And then lastly, we're going to take our long time ago, and this is just going to get nestled right here with some glue dots. And yeah, those little caps do get everywhere. Alright, so I'm just gonna try to get that in just tucked under the ribbon a tiny bit. And there. here is our project. And here's the other ones I've made. This was the original one. I used a different ribbon because I only had that at the time, but here we go. So there is all the projects. My versions anyway. Because what I do is the first round is my way of figuring out how to make it. The second round is also on Zoom. And then the third is here over on YouTube. There we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, so my next plans being, I'm thinking of, I would like to do a class in June. However, it might be into July, just the way timing is starting to look on my end. So it is what it is. And yeah, any questions, please let me know. If you have any questions about Stampin' Up, or even me as Color the Kitty, or even just crafting in general, or hey, any questions. Questions about Star Wars, I can try to help you with that, because I'm a really big Star Wars fan, especially when I was younger. I read a lot of the books, and I got away from it when Disney kind of took over. That was kind of my story, where when Disney decided that the hundreds of books that made up the story that I know are now called legends, meaning they're not part of the canon main stories of the movies, I kind of felt hurt. It's like I loved the books. But what brought me back again to it in the last couple years is, for example, Star Wars Rebels. If you've watched it, I love the character Thrawn. He was in the books. So when I noticed that the newer creations of the newer TV shows and movies and such are starting to give a little more payback to showing some of the characters that I know, like Thrawn, I'm like, yes, Thrawn! He was like one of the best villains that they ever had. Really, really great character. Just fascinating. So for me personally, I came back to Star Wars. And then, of course, with the continuation of The Mandalorian, that has at one point the kind of hint of a mention of Thrawn, and the upcoming Ahsoka series, I'm excited. So there we go. Well, thank you for letting me nerd out about Star Wars, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. And yes, I always hit the wrong button at the end.